everybody. This is the story of how we met. So, we did meet online. So, I made this.
Is OkCupid?
It was OkCupid.
Yeah.
So, I accidentally made a dating profile, like an online dating profile. So, I wanted to take some quizzes online, and in order to do so, you had to create a profile. And I made the profile, took a couple quizzes, and then I realized it was a dating website. And I never really logged on unless I felt like taking a quiz, but I almost never logged on. And then I hurt my leg making a snowman one day. So I couldn't go to the volunteer place that I used to volunteer every Thursday. So I remember it's a Thursday.
January 17, 2013.
Because I couldn't go to volunteer because I couldn't walk. And so I was bored because I couldn't do what I always do. So I logged on to the dating website and I saw I had a message.
Oh man, so it's funny because today is, what is it? January 12th. I had just visited Maine for the first time. And really, you gonna drink now?
I'm listening to your story.
It was January 12th. I visited Maine because my older brother lived up here. And I was, obviously, if you've seen my coming out video, you know that I was going through a tough time. And he told me, after taking me back, the same day, January 17th, he said, why don't you make some friends and you can move up here? And I said, okay, that sounds good. I need to get out of here. So I believe I already had OkCupid. Because I was already, I was on like that one, a different one that was like specifically for LGBT. And so I already had a profile, was, dates or whatever. So from that morning when I was in Maine leaving, I messaged her, be like, hey, I'm just looking for friends in Maine and I'm new to the city. So just looking, to friends to show me around, and I'll possibly be moving up there for college and stuff. So I got to New York, it was like 3 p.m, and I get a message and I'm like, oh cool. So it was her, and I was like,
it was not 3 p.m. by the time I messaged, because I was not injured yet. It would have been around 5 or 6.
I guess I had another girl message me. So I was like, cool. So I got a few messages, and that same day though. So that same day I ended up going back to my parents' house in Pennsylvania, and she messaged me, and I remember I was messaging her back, and she's like, to know if you're real, you need to add me on Facebook. And I was like,
because I'd had some people try to talk to me before, and I didn't trust them. So if they added me on Facebook, I could see like a history. I could see that they're a real person. They're not. It
makes
catfish.
sense to me. So I was like, because my Facebook had like a lot of my personal stuff. I have, so it's like, but what if they're not real? What if they're like catfishing me, or they're fake or something? They're trying to steal my identity.
Mine was real.
So I was like, all right, what's your name? She gave me an actual name, and her photo matched her profile. And I was like, okay. So we added each other.
Yes, because I was on there to take quizzes.
And so so we talked, and then like not even like an hour later, we were talking, and getting to know each other. And then I see that she's not my friend anymore.
No, that was like a day later.
No.
Really?
No.
I have no memory.
It was the same day. I remember that because I was telling my friends about how I'm making friends in Maine and whatever, because they were talking to me like, oh, how did you like Maine or whatever. So she deleted me after asking me to add her on Facebook, off everything. I was so upset. I was like, so I'm not meant to have new friends ever. And I was so mad. Like, I was furious. So what was it? I like messaged you, but did you block me? I don't remember.
I think I did block you for a little bit on everything.
So how you asked me to add you on Facebook and then you just decided to block me, even though I proved that I was real. That was what made me angry. It was like that didn't make any sense. So that made me feel like you were a fraud at that point.
I don't know.
So
and then I felt too guilty. So a few days later, I messaged you.
Yeah, I was like, F these,
people named M.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because before her, I had a girlfriend named Emily. I had two ex-girlfriends named Emily, and I was like, fuck everybody who starts with EMs. I can't stand them. They're always hurting me or whatever. I can't even make friends with the letter EM on them. And then the day after, I think that morning, she messaged me back. It was like, I'm sorry or whatever, and I was like, you know what? It's okay, because I believe in second chances, and I promise you won't be disappointed if you're my friend. Like, I'm a good friend. You can even ask my best friends. Like, they were all about it. They know everything, and so, yeah. So that was on January 17th, and so we were talking a lot. We were FaceTiming. Skyping. It's real to know that we're real to each other.
In Pennsylvania.
Yeah, if I was in Pennsylvania, because, I had to keep it down low. I had to be secret, so I had to keep headphones on and talk. And, me and my little brother, my entire life shared a bedroom. So he would keep my secret for me, like I said before, but my parents never knew that I was talking to Emma. And so...
If it makes you feel better, for a while, nobody knew about you either.
Did not know that. Thank you. Everything's coming out, apparently.
I just don't talk about things a lot.
For 2 weeks later, she's like, well, when are you coming up to Maine, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like...
Exactly 2 weeks after we met, though, I asked you to be my girlfriend. It was a Thursday. I just remember because it was exactly 2 weeks later.
January 31st. But you wanted to wait for me to come up to Maine so that we can actually get,
meet and know each other.
Face to face. And I said...
too long.
I was like, I'm not coming to Maine.
Long.
But I said I'm not coming to Maine for a good 3 months, or 4 months, because my brother wasn't coming back to get me. He took forever to come get me, and obviously I didn't have a job. My parents weren't going to pay for it, so I was stuck in New York and Pennsylvania.
Didn't Chad pay for it the first time? Yeah,
so March.
For Easter?
So she asked me to be her girlfriend finally. She wasn't. I was like, you don't want me to speak to other girls or whatever, but. I got people asking me to go on dates, so if you want to seal the deal, you're gonna have to ask me.
So stupid.
She got a text. Ignore the text messages. Right. So, yeah. So she asked me to be her girlfriend January 31st, and then.
Sorry, Gar. Put it far away.
And then in March, Easter, the week before Easter, I met her parents on Skype. I think it was. Yeah, because I didn't have a phone either. I never FaceTime. It was Skype. And...
You had an iPod.
Oh, yeah, I had an iPod. Dang, I forget. So I met her parents, and her dad was, dying to meet me. Her mom was skeptical of me. I know you was, Candy. I know you were skeptical of me. Everybody is, It's your only daughter and whatever. So I went and I met her whole family that March and Easter weekend, and he helped pay for my trip, and it was really nice because they gave me a chance. And so that March I was like, all right, I'm going back to Maine this summer, and I did. And I told my parents, I said, I'm going up to Maine, and I had to lie. I had to say that I was staying with my brother.
We had a job though. We had a job at a cookie store lined up, and then we got fired after one day because we weren't going to learn fast enough.
Whatever. And then she had the nerve to ask me to walk her dog.
Yeah. And then she shut down that same year. That was
she shut down that same
year,
year, so it was whatever.
It was
we ended up doing more
as if
stuff,
we couldn't learn how to bake a cookie.
Yeah, and it was at the beach, and she lived at the beach at the time, so we did break up a few months for a month or so, and 2 years later, 2015. And then that's when we decided, well, let's just go to New York and be grown-ups or whatever. And then so we went back to Maine after that, and it's just been like that. And we got married in 2018. She wasn't even you didn't even engage. You wasn't gonna.
I wanted to be engaged, but I didn't want to be married.
And I didn't want to be married at all. I didn't really care for marriage.
You asked me to propose.
Because you wanted to be engaged. And I was like, I'm not marrying you. I'm not getting engaged to not be married. That's dumb. Yeah. So you either engage me in bed, and then like you just did it the most wackest way because I had to tell you what I knew.
Up the ring. You're too picky. Tell them how long it took you to pick out one ring. Yeah. It took me about 5 minutes to pick out my ring.
We were in case for 3 hours. Not lying. 3 hours.
I sat there forever. Decided to leave the store and get Starbucks. Came back and finished my Starbucks, and she was still picking a ring.
But look how pretty it is. 3 hours was worth it. And then that same year, we chose our dresses on New Year's Eve.
Again, first dress I tried on.
No. But they gave us a time limit. They only gave us 60 minutes, and I chose it in 60 minutes. So
good job.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how we met. My parents ended up meeting her that August 2013, and it wasn't great. You know, my mom took it hard. My dad was just like, you know, you're not supposed to be. I'm like, I am who I am. I'm an adult now. You can't tell me this. Well, if you're living in our house. And I'm like, well, you know what? That's why I'm moving to Maine. So I literally moved to Maine that October, and I stayed with her family. Yeah, because
you went back to school for like a month.
Yeah, I went back to school for a month. They pissed me off, so I was just done with them, too.
Yeah.
So.
And then you came back, and we went to school up here instead.
So, yeah, that's our history. So people always complain about online dating, but if you do it right and if you meet the right person,
don't trust people though.
Don't trust everybody, but if like what we did, we spoke to each other, we asked for each other's Facebooks, and I'm sure people can make fake Facebooks, but if you FaceTime them, Skype, and if they deny to do that, everybody has FaceTime. Everybody has a phone, an Android, whatever.
Or I've got very embarrassing pictures on Facebook that are very real.
Like, if they deny to do that, then obviously they're not great, but you know, and they know how to make time for you. So, yeah. Thanks for watching our How We Met video. And
remember, it's always a good day to be gay.